So you're in college, but you also want to start your own business, but how do you do both at the same time? That's what this podcast interview is all about, with 3 entrepreneurs that are going full-time towards their degrees, but also building their business. There's a debate that has been brewing for probably the last 15 to 20 years, probably longer, but really the last 15 to 20 years, it has really come to a head. That is, be an entrepreneur or go to college, right? What do we do? I've got all this passion to go out and build something special, and college is just a factory to get a job. But you know what? I don't really know when I'm 18 years old what I want to do. So maybe going to college and then figure it out as I go along, get a degree just in case, and then be an entrepreneur. So we're going to be talking about that. And we're going to be talking to 3 incredible wholesalers that are doing both. Not only that, they go to Arizona State University and have created a real estate investing club inside of the university. It's Kyle Dixon, Nate Breeze, and Landon Galvin, all here to discuss college versus entrepreneurship and how to blend both. And they are about a week into going direct to property owners, having conversations, making calls. You guys have done 6 deals already, and that's all been through referrals and agent outreach, right? And now they've got some questions to ask me on this podcast, so it's going to be really, really fun. It's going to be really engaging. These guys have so much passion for this business and so much passion to be wildly successful. So let's start with you, Kyle. How do you balance college and being an entrepreneur?
I'm going to be honest. I don't have the best balance. Every day, 7 days a week, I get up at 3:30 in the morning, hit the gym, get up, start doing work around 6, get my homework done from 6 to 7.
Yep.
And now I've been on the dialer from anytime from 7 to around 8 at night, and I'll do my homework while I'm on the dialer, so I'm not like having to get off it. And I don't have, honestly, the best grades. Parents always say put school first. They always remind me every day. But I kind of put the business first, to be honest, because this is really what I want to do. But, I mean, I just try to at least get C's, B's. If I get an A, that's nice. But to be honest, I'm really just thinking about long-term future. If I'm going to be honest, I missed the class last night, because Pace was spitting some nice knowledge, and I was like, this is going to help me way more in life than the classes. So I took the 1.25% hit off my grade.
Sure.
But I think as long as you keep passing your classes and get the gist of what they're trying to teach you, then that's fine. I think there's a lot of people who get A's in life, but they aren't super wealthy. They work jobs and get paid maybe $100K a year, which is fine. But I don't think grades determine your success, as long as you're kind of taking away what you should be taking away from the class and you're doing something good with your time, not wasting it. I think that's a fine ultimatum.
You get up at 3:30.
Every 7 days a week, non-negotiable, yeah.
Holy cow.
Go to bed around 8 or 9.
Incredible discipline.
6 hours of sleep, usually. 7 on a good day. It's probably not healthy, but, in the long term, I think it'll be worth it.
Hustle season.
Yeah, hustle season, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nate?
Yeah, when you want it so bad, it's hard to sleep.
Yeah, but why even be in college?
It's a question I ask myself every day.
Okay.
Well, we didn't always have this business. We just got started about 6 months ago. So, there's a lot of pressure from our parents to get a degree because when they went to school, everybody was getting degrees, and that was the most productive thing to do. But now with everybody getting degrees, it's starting to become less valuable.
Sure.
So if I could be going to school, getting good grades, and at the same time, starting this business, learning as much as I can, then I'll do both until the business scales up enough to the point where I can, it's almost like leaving a job, being at school.
Do you know why your parents want you to go to school? You know what I mean? I assume it's not, and maybe it is. Tell me. I assume it's not so that they can tell all their friends that you graduated and they can have this pride and they're trying to clone themselves in you. Do you understand why they want you to go to college?
It's definitely out of love. It's a safety net, for sure.
Yeah.
and yeah, they don't want their kid to be on the street. So parents are always going to assume the worst.
So mom, dad, if you're watching, he understands. He gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say for me on that point, my mom, just growing up, she was like kind of a genius. I mean, she was insane grades. She graduated college at 19, went into dental school, graduated that early. She was taking classes, so many credits. And I mean, I'm the youngest of 3 kids, and both of my older brother and sister both went to college. They graduated. So for me, like I had really good grades in high school, and she just really wanted me to follow that kind of footstep. Like all of her kids had gone to college, and I told her, I mean, like when I was 15 in high school, I started with e-commerce, and I was doing that, yeah, and I was making good money, and from there, I wanted to drop out, and I would tell her, I was like, Mom, I don't want to go to college, and she was like, don't even talk to me about this, like you're going to college. So yeah, it's tough. It's hard to really kind of have that conversation with them when they're so stuck. I mean, like coming from where they come from in their generation, it's taught that you have to go to college to be successful.
Yep.
But nowadays, you see all these people, you don't really have to. I mean, there's so many other ways, and it was always my dream just to kind of start my own business and be financially free, and I wanted to work for myself no matter if I failed. Like I would, like Pace was saying last night, I think it was from Ice Cube, he said, you gotta be willing to work for 5 years and making 50 cents to actually, to be dedicated to that dream. And that's how I feel. I mean, I'm fine. Like if I started wholesaling and I didn't make anything for 5 years, I put in the effort. And like as long as I was going at my dreams and trying my best, I couldn't be more proud of myself.
Well, it's skill building. I mean, we were talking about that off air. We got the board here with the 20 skills to build a $1 million business plus year after year after year. But it's skill building. I think that's the heart of that Ice Cube quote. There is really you're putting in the time and the effort for change. I mean, you have a goal. You have a vision for what you want. That's all a goal is, right? It's just a vision of what you want in the future. And then what do you have to change about yourself? And what skills do you have to build yourself to be able to achieve that vision, right? And a lot of that comes down to leadership at some point if you're an entrepreneur, and going out there, building the skills yourself, and then replacing yourself in certain roles in the business with people that are better than you at specific roles. Because here's the fact, nobody's the best at everything. There's so many different skills that you have to have in a real estate business that you're not going to be the best at everything. So you bring in people that are the best at certain specific roles, niche roles, when you're at that point. One, when you're financially stable, because holding somebody's family's financial responsibilities in the palm of your hand is a huge thing. I mean, that's a huge responsibility to have. And so we don't want to take that lightly. And second, and we were talking about this too, is a lot of people think that the cheat code for all this is just hire VAs. Just hire VAs. They'll do whatever you want them to do. They don't have the skills. I'm just telling you right now. They don't have the skills to just off the street come in, whether they're willing, whether they're inexpensive, whatever, to come in and do the job here. I don't know a single business that successfully runs with VAs just taken out of nowhere to do all 20 of these skills that are critical to building a long-lasting business. It just doesn't happen. So one, build all the skills yourself, and then bring in really top-tier talent to replace yourselves in certain roles. I love it. Absolutely incredible.
How long do you think it would take you to build the business back up if you just went broke right now?
Myself,
because
I would get on the phone. It would take 90 days to really get rolling. I think in 90 days I can start consistently closing 20 to 30,000 a month, and then from there I would wait 3 months to 30,000, 3 straight months before I hired anybody. So I would say 6 months of grueling, grinding, exhausting, going to bed, like totally exhausted work. Truly. And it would be, I think it would be a lot, it's obviously going to be a lot longer if you're just getting started, because I've already got the skills to be able to do it, right? I've already talked to 45,000 property owners. I've already gone through the process. I've got all the connections when it comes to title and escrow and those type of things, to make sure that they're doing their responsibility. So I think if it all melted down today, like I had like a just nervous breakdown and like everything was just started over, 6 months. 6 months before I could confidently bring on top tier people. But I think for when you're just getting started, I think that it should be at least a year or 18 months of real grind. I mean, 5 years, is what Ice Cube said. I think in this business, 18 months. And that's just because I want you to keep as much money as possible and to get rid of all consumer debt as quick as possible. So you're not going to have as much money to throw at salaries for people that you're going to bring onto your team. Because I think a lot of people come into this business with a lot of liabilities, a lot of responsibilities that they have to pay for, and a lot of consumer debt, whether that be student loans, whether it be credit cards, whether it be a car payment. I'd want all that gone before I hired anybody. Truly. Yeah.
I think a lot of the new wholesalers out there that are going direct to seller are wondering where they should pull their leads from. Because some people are using True People Search, hand dialing.
Yep.
Some people are paying the Mojo dialer, getting 1 cent per lead, and they're hitting 5% rate on their leads.
Yeah.
You use batch leads.
Yep.
Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Yeah, batch leads for pulling lists and for skip tracing for sure. I mean, batch has time and time again had the highest quality return on really great, the accuracy of the phone numbers. So really good data is important. If you're just starting out and you have zero budget and you're just kind of like shoestringing this, which is great, you can go and you can literally drive around, write down addresses, go in to True People search, and get the phone numbers and just start hand dialing and having conversations. You can call all the for sale by owners on Zillow. You could start calling agents that have rundown properties that have been on Zillow for 30, 60, 90 days. 30 would be the minimum, and have conversations there. That's how I'd start on a shoestring budget. But if you have a little bit of a budget, upgrade the quality of data. Because you could pull all the lists, right? Now we know every property that's vacant. Now we know every property that's a tired landlord. Now we know every property that's a tired multifamily landlord. Now we know every property that's in foreclosure. And it goes down and down and down. There's a ton of niche lists. But, pulling them and just finding out which is the best, testing out. By being super proactive and having those conversations, seeing which list is hitting best. Yeah.
How many times will you have your team go through each list? 2
times, 3 if it's got like a timeline to it. Like if it's a tax default and they're going to lose their property to property taxes, we'll call through that list 3 times. If it's a pre-foreclosure, 3 times. If it's a probate, 3 times. And I consider probate inherited a timeline list because 90 days, right? The window is 90 days after owning an inherited property. 85% of the people sell that property. 85%. Wow. So I feel like, I got to get to them quick because they're going to make a decision in the next 90 days. Yep. Yeah. So what are you guys doing? So when you say you're getting up, are you guys similar schedules?
Oh, we're all together.
Yeah. I love this. You know what I love about college? What I love about college is this. You make connections. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we had this conversation Friday when you came into the team meeting. Ryan and I, Jeremy is my disposition manager, Ryan is my acquisition manager, and myself, we're college roommates. We knew each other from going to college together. We played college football together. And so, and they're the best people that I've ever, been around in this business. I mean, they're the best at disposition. They're the best at acquisition. They're absolutely phenomenal. And I would have never met them if we didn't go to college, right? Yeah. So I think college is more for like making connections.
Yeah.
That's how I always saw it when I was going to college because I was going through these classes and they were kind of like, I was getting a finance and economics degree and I was like, well, what am I going to do with this? They're like, and this is how you put together your resume and this is how you look good to a future employer. And I was like, I don't want anybody to employ me. Like, this is crazy. I got to figure this thing out. And then I got this book right here, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. My junior year of college, and then got a real estate license, and the rest is history. But never have used the only thing I've used from college is my relationships.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, no, I actually I met these guys same time about now last year. It was my first week of freshman year, and we're actually at the fitness center. I met him in the pool.
Yeah.
So I was with my buddy who's from Kansas City, and we came out to ASU together, and we're in the pool, and we just, got together, met these guys, and my life is just, gone up ever since. It's crazy because I've always had that mindset even before I came to ASU, but I didn't have those people to push me. And these guys have pushed me way beyond my limit. I had a terrible sleep schedule, and these two, waking up at 3:30 a.m., that was crazy to me a year ago. I was waking up at like 1 p.m., but they put me on a schedule. Honestly, worse than that. It was, they put me on a schedule, and they got me out of my comfort zone. I was very shy, but we started going to meetups. Meetups every single day, trying to see where we could go. And ever since then, we've just been leveling up.
Yeah, but how do you guys wake up at 3:30? You guys never go out. You never party. You never.
Yeah, it's a non-negotiable.
Yeah.
we have a board in our room, like a whiteboard,
Yeah.
right in our kitchen in our apartment. It's got the non-negotiables that what we have to do every single day, and no partying, no going out. Just wake up 3:30, go to the gym right as we wake up.
So why? What gives you this motor? What gives you this drive?
Well, first of all, one thing that I think about when I think about partying and all that stuff is energy cannot be created or destroyed, right? And Andrew Huberman talked about the dopamine scale, about how you're always going to return to baseline. So if you have this big peak drinking out one night with your buddies, then you're going to go below it, and then you're just going to go back to baseline. So why would you be concerned if you're happy or having fun if you're just going to be going back to baseline anyway? Why does it matter?
Yeah,
Why not just be productive with that time?
I get it. Yeah.
For me, honestly, it's just I'm scared of not being that person I want to be. And I know I only have so much time, what they call escape the matrix, until I have to work a full-time job. And I'm in construction management. Those guys work 14, 15-hour days, 5-6 days a week. And I'm I worked this summer internship. It's the hottest it's ever been, I think, in history or whatever. It was 110, 120 for 30, 40 days straight. And I was like, man, I do not want to do this every day. And I have 2 years to really make it out. So I better hurry up. I better quit the drinking, quit the smoking, because then, I don't want to be stuck in that trap. It's going to be hard to get out. So I have all this time right now. I have about 40, 50 hours a week to cold call. We're pulling 10, 12-hour days now on the weekends, just all day long, just trying to make it happen, out of fear.
Yeah.
Like Pace said, he doesn't work out of motivation. He works out of fear of being like someone else.
Yeah.
That's honestly why.
Well, yeah. That really kicked in when I lost everything. Before that, it was all, just go because what's my potential? What can I do? Go, 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 go. And then you lose everything because your ego gets involved. And then all of a sudden it's a fear-based chip on your shoulder, which is a whole different thing. You know what? I didn't grow up in a low-income house. I didn't grow up with parents that were never around. I grew up in a big family. Everybody was love. Everything was, you could do anything that you want in the world. And then but it inflated my ego to the point in my 20s where I just went bananas. Made stupid decisions and lost everything. So now there's that fear base that's like, holy cow. It has to be wildly productive every single day. You need to really be surrounded by the best, optimistic, positive people that you can, and watch that ego. You got to let that go because it's really silly. I thought when you become a millionaire, you get a parade or something, right? Everybody hoists you on their shoulders, and they're like, oh my gosh, he's done such amazing things. What an incredible... It doesn't happen. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares when you become a millionaire. Nobody sets apart a big chair for you at barbecues or anything like that. Nobody cares. They're just like, okay, great. Yeah, I think he's doing a real estate thing or something. That's what family and friends and people that you grow up with, that's how they respond. So it's all about, what you want to do, your internal goals, what you want, one, for yourself, why are you doing this internally? Externally, who are you impacting by this within your group? And then philosophically, what are you doing for the world? You know what I mean? And if you look at those things and you really understand that we have a short amount of time here and we got to do what we can if we want to achieve the vision that we have, then it makes it easier for the ego to kind of dissolve and not be there. And I think that you guys probably naturally already have it because I don't feel like you guys have much of an ego, but we'll see what you guys look like after $1 million in the next couple of years. But I don't think that you guys will be like that.
What was that first business that you had?
Yeah, I had a real estate brokerage.
Okay.
And I bid down at the foreclosure auctions. I would raise funds, bid at the foreclosure auctions, flip properties. I also had about 80 real estate agents that were out doing traditional real estate. And then I had a team of 15 door knockers that were going out to all the pre-foreclosures in town, putting together those deals, and we would buy them and flip them and sell them. Yeah. And then the market shifted in 2008. And all of the equity in our market here just got totally removed. And so properties dropped like 80% of value. Wow. So we had properties that we locked up at smoking deals, right? 50% of what the fixed up value would be. But then the fixed up value dropped 80%. So it was it was really wild time. So.
And you had 2 kids, one on the way at that time?
No. I didn't have any kids. This is in my 20s. Yeah. Okay. No, at least I didn't have that. That would have been wild. No, that's a totally different life. Yeah, gotcha. For sure. So you guys get up at 3:30. Do you guys live together?
Yep.
Yeah. And so you guys all get up. What are the non-negotiables you guys were talking about?
We just started. So 7 days a week. 3:30 to 4 a.m. Get up, be in the gym by like 4:15. We kind of are really like I have 3 alarm clocks, so I set 2 right by me, one over there, and I had the same thing every day. Shut them both off, get on my phone, wakes me up, turn the lamp on, and I have a process. Everything's the same. Get my coffee, post on social media, #never-miss. Motivate people, like non-negotiable, and then.
Do you guys document any of this?
Yeah, we have. I've been starting to post on social media a little bit more, just to kind of help build the brand, for the long term. And then we're in the gym.
Can I give you a suggestion for that? Don't worry about building the brand. Just be you and just do it on a daily basis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's more an accountability factor for you. Also, it's just, I think it's inspiration. People see you doing it day in, day out, and maybe they do it once a week. And they feel better about it. You know what I mean? But I mean, I don't say, never be in a position, and I don't think you guys would have, like, you guys need to do this. Oh. How about we're doing this? Check it out. Honestly, you know what I mean?
I think it's a little crazy. I don't recommend it for like 99% of people.
Yeah.
But this is just where we want to go. And cold calling, I have classes, so I have to make it work. And if I wake up at 7, I hit the gym, I'm back at 9, when I could have started cold calling around 7, and I just wasted 2 hours, 7 days a week. 14 hours of cold calling time. So I'm always thinking about the numbers and stuff, and I think the most efficient way is go to bed after cold calling hours and get up early and be ready when cold calling hours start.
Awesome.
You know what I mean?
Yep. What questions do you have? I know you have some written down here. So let's rock and roll. So you guys have just started. You got on the Mojo Dialer.
Yep.
You guys are making calls direct to property owners. What list are you calling?
Absentee.
Yep.
So I've done absentee, we've done vacant. Code violations.
Cool.
We started doing, actually, months ago, we did probate mailers. So send out, like, just mailing out to probates.
Yep.
Tax delinquencies. Everything, really. But right now, I'd say we're definitely focused on vacant and absentee.
Awesome.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. Built before 2000.
Yep.
25% equity or higher. It's market dependent.
Yep.
And then $600,000 or less. Just looking for. Ideally it would be somebody who's renting out to their kid or something, and they want to get them out.
Yeah.
Or their renters are treating it like crap, not paying their payments, and they just want to get rid of the property. And they're out of state.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
same list.
We're all calling pretty much the same list.
In the same house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
What time do you guys start calling?
Around 7:30,
Yeah.
and we'll call to about 7:30.
So what? Just in your bedrooms?
So they
in the kitchen?
I sit in the kitchen because my bedroom is really dark, so it's kind of depressing.
Yes.
So I stay in the
you
kitchen.
need light.
Yeah.
I stay in the kitchen, and then they go in the rooms because they have 2 windows. I have 1.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm in a corner room, so it's kind of like depressing. So
Yeah,
I sit
yeah.
in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I put together that board you have in like the dream board.
The prospecting cockpit.
Yeah.
That's
Put some
it.
Pictures of the family and
Yeah.
some things I want in life, and that definitely keeps me motivated.
So basically what that is it's like a display board that you buy at wherever, Walmart or Walgreens or whatever, like kids would do like a, for a display board. And then you put in your scripts, you put in your handling objection scripts, you put in your goals, you put in what's important to you, you put in, have you guys done the 7 layers of why?
I actually started it, today.
Yeah, that's really important to put on there as well. You guys can get that at wholesalinginc.com. It really gets you put a goal at the top of it, and then you ask yourself why 7 times to each response that you have. And it really gets to the nitty-gritty of what's the point of this, right? Yeah. And so it's a really interesting and powerful exercise for sure. But put that in there as well. So, yeah. And then just have that cockpit in front of you, and what I also like, and it's kind of crazy, but I always liked having a mirror as well.
See yourself.
Yeah. Because I want to be smiling, and I want to have a sparkle in my eye, and I don't want to be, and I want to look at myself in the way that I react to different personality types, and like slow it down when people are speaking really slow, speed it up when people are like a little bit more energy. And so having that in front of me like really always helped. So another thing to think about.
That.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I like to think about, I think you said this on Wholesale Hotline, where it's like think that you're watching us. And I'll be calling and I'll like get on my phone for a second. I'll be like, oh, Brent's watching me right now. What's he going to say? And I put it down and put the headset back on.
Yeah, I say that like, let me be your stalker. I'll just like sitting outside the window, like watching you or right behind you, Yeah. I always thought that was interesting. I had an incredible coach, Kathy Anderson, from a traditional real estate side when I was being an agent. And she always said, just imagine that I'm in the room with you. If I were to follow you around for a full day, would I be impressed or would I be, disappointed type of thing? And it was like, it's kind of a weird thing, like whatever, because I have a problem with like authority. But I was also kind of like, yeah, that's dope. Because, I mean, if you played any sports, your coaches see everything that you do. And they're going to nitpick you if they really care about your development. And so a really good coach is going to nitpick your development for sure. So just think about that, everybody out there. Imagine me just watching you all day. Yeah.
Works. It
works.
Yeah,
it worked for me, for sure.
I think for life in general, like if you just write down what you're doing every hour of the day, and then you look back at it at the end of the day, and you really count all the hours that you wasted, you'll see that you're wasting maybe 20-25% of your time. And you just need to be more efficient with it.
Oh, bro, I would say most people are wasting 80% of their time.
Yeah.
There is a huge difference between being busy and productive. There is a huge difference between, doing income-producing activities and income-servicing activities, for sure. And when you're starting out in this business, it should all be income-producing activities. But what people get stuck with is, I got to know every single line of what's going on in this purchase agreement, and I got to understand every single part of this process, and I got to understand if anybody throws any objections at me, I better know the response to it so I don't feel like I'm on my back foot and feel uncomfortable. The point is to be uncomfortable. It's called massive imperfect action for a reason, right? And if you're taking massive imperfect action, progress not perfection, towards income producing activities, you cannot lose. You can't. Because what we're talking about and what you guys are doing is 3:30 in the morning, you're setting up your day so that you can go and be of service to the community. That's incredible. That's what business is. You know what I mean? And people are going to think that we're crazy. People are going to condemn you for it and be like, what are you doing? You should be living the time of your lives, and putting their own impressions on what your life should be. But the fact is you're going out every single day and trying to provide value. That's it. Income is equal to the amount of value you provide. And you guys are going out and going just absolutely crazy with it. I love it. I love it. So just focus on that. But yeah, I agree with you. If you were to really audit somebody's day, most of it is not anything that is providing income, not anything that is not providing value that equates to income. Yeah.
You got to find that person that needs you.
Yeah, that's it. How can we go out and find somebody that has a personal problem with their properties? That's it. That's how we started out. How can we find somebody that has a property that has potential and they've made the decision they want to sell? And we talked about that before we started this. Is step 1, make sure they want to sell.
Yeah.
Step 2, pre-qualify them. And then from there, it makes closing so easy. It's the natural progression of the process. They want to make they've made the decision they want to sell. You understand the condition, timeline, motivation, price. they're having you over for an appointment. Natural progression should be to sign an agreement. As long as the price, terms, and they like you line up, that's a deal. And the best deals ever have had the least amount of problems. I'm just telling you, they're ready to go. Mm-hmm. And you can curate those opportunities with the more people that you talk to.
Yeah, it's interesting how people come at wholesalers and say they're scammers or be all negative. The 2 deals that we've done, I mean, his person was crying the other day, tears of gratitude, because they were able to pay for a moving truck and get him out of there. And yeah, it's really just about service. There's all these people that'll give you positive referrals, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. And yeah, nobody's upset that you wholesale.
So we get Christmas cards.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, we get Christmas cards. You know, most of the time they want us to make money. It literally says in the purchase agreement, we're going to make money off of this transaction. Mm-hmm. That's our business. We disclose that every time. We've never had somebody be like, what? I'm not signing this agreement because you're going to make money from this. It's never, ever happened. And anybody that does, we're like, go put it on the market. Here's a great real estate agent. You know what I mean? We try to give everybody a path to solve this problem besides a cash as is offer. But the people that want a cash as is offer, that want to trade price for speed and convenience, that's who we work with. Mm-hmm. That's the fact. Price, speed, and convenience. Sellers only get 2. So what do they want? If they want that speed and convenience, then the price is going to be lower. Mm-hmm. That's just the way that it works. And that's just not real estate. Real estate, that's everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the process of like seeing whether or not they're motivated is also like, well, why didn't you go list it with an agent? Mm-hmm. It's like giving them all these suggestions that they could do that might work out better for them. And if those suggestions don't work, then, we're there to serve. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I look at it, the analogy, they're on Hell Island. They want to get to Heaven Island. What bridges are there to cross to get there? Okay? List it with an agent. No, I don't want to do that. I hate agents, or I don't want it to be on the internet, or I don't want it to take that long, or I just don't. I just want to sell it as fast as possible. I just want to sell it directly to a buyer. Okay, great. Why don't you fix it up and rent it to somebody? I don't want to do that. Okay, great. What if I were to buy this and you be the bank on this property? No, I want to get cash out right now. All right. So it sounds like a cash as is offer. Does that sound right? Yes. Boom. Now you've got somebody that's locked into that deal, and that's the 6 to 10% of the people that we're talking about. Because 6 to 10% of the real estate market, based on the 2020 census, they're in distress. 6 to 10%, depending on where you live in this country, are in distress of some point. Whether it be financial, whether it be the condition of the property, whether it be some sort of emotional distress, it's all in that 6 to 10%, and that's who we focus on. So we're not just calling everybody that has beautiful houses. We're calling houses that have potential. We're buying properties at the market value, but they have bigger potential, and we sell it to people that are going to discover that potential by putting investment into those properties to make them look beautiful and sell them for top dollar. Mm-hmm. It's awesome. Isn't this the best business?
Yeah, it is. Awesome, yeah. What do you have your team do for comping? I know that you said the 80%. But I hear that a lot of, big-time wholesalers kind of do the Zillow, Redfin all together, and then they'll take, 66% or whatever their market is. Yeah. And then I also saw on your course that, if you're going to give a quick cash offer, there's those Zillow percentages that you offer.
Yeah, it is. So just off the bat, if you're just getting started, take Zillow, Redfin, and Realtor.com, combine all of those estimates, divide by 3, and come up with like a really good fixed up estimate. Mm-hmm. And then from there, you're going to take a percentage of depending on what the price point is. So if the price point is above $250,000, you're at 60%. If it's between $250,000 and $100,000, you're at 40%. And if you're below $100,000, you're at 10% of that. And so that gives you a pretty good range. It depends on the condition, and it depends on the area. Supply and demand factors in, but I don't want to go too advanced if people are just starting out. Yeah. That's why, obviously we have the coaching. But once you understand and you're selling a lot of deals and you understand what your buyers are buying at, and how to recognize potential in different properties in different areas, you can start playing around with those percentages big time.
Okay.
I mean, at the height of it, in like 2021, I mean, we were selling stuff at like 95% minus fix up.
Dang.
And then instantly, I'm not joking, but instantly, June 15th, it went down to 70% minus repairs. Instantly. Now it's back up to about 80, 84. Yep, depending on the area. So it really just depends. That's why having somebody double check your numbers and also having conversations with your cash buyers to really understand what price they're looking at really helps. Yeah.
I'm curious, do you do you miss like the startup days, like the days of just kind of having a lot of that fear and such immense hustle? I mean, I know you're constantly still working every day, but I always think about like now and just where we're at currently. We don't really have patience. You know, we're so focused on like just having a goal and kind of like really kind of get to those, just riches and Lamborghinis. We're so obsessed with like trying to get a Lamborghini. We have a board on our wall and it's but it's just, I mean, I was just wondering, like, do you miss that stage? Do you ever look back on it and kind of wish, maybe I was back there at some point? Do you ever kind of miss that fear?
No, I'm nostalgic, but I still am hungry.
Yeah.
You got to keep the hunger. The problem is a lot of people get complacent once they get to a certain point, once their income level comes to a certain point. That's why you got to be around people that make a lot more than you. That's why I'm around Jamil, and that's why I'm around Pace, and that's why I'm around Jerry Norton. That's why I'm around a lot of these other guys that are out in the industry doing amazing things. I'm part of a mastermind group that all of them have 8-figure businesses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so complacency can certainly sneak in if you don't remember the fear, right? If you don't remember what it used to be like, if you don't remember how rough it was having sleepless nights. I never want to go back there, so that keeps the hunger.
Okay.
And I think you have to have, I think that, and I've seen a lot of people go really boom, then bust, and then boom again and stay boom because the bust really kept them from that complacency. And I think that that's probably a financial thermostat issue as well. I think that once you're making $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month, all of a sudden you're feeling real flush with cash, and maybe your parents never made that much, or maybe your peer group never made that much, so you feel very successful and wealthy. Then you kind of pull back a little bit. That's when you get caught. That's when you get caught. You have to keep leveling up your minimum standard for what you want to make, what you want to pull out of it. Yeah, until you're at the point where you've got enough. Because there's rich and then there's wealthy.
Yeah.
There's a rich vision, which is going to get you all that monthly income, and then there's wealthy that's going to really build your net worth, right? And really build that more quote-unquote passive income. And so first you got to focus on the rich vision, and then you get into the wealthy vision.
Yeah.
And so, I'm still in the rich vision stage.
You just keep that fear with you to kind of drive.
Yeah, and I feel like there's a lot more that I could do with the businesses that I have. So I don't miss working weekends. I don't miss going on appointments at 7:30 on a Thursday night, or 6:30 in the morning on a Tuesday morning. That type of thing. My team does that, and it's wildly rewarding to have a team that's successful, and they really enjoy what they do, and they're really good at it. So that part has replaced a lot of the joy that I got from going on the appointments and solving problems. But yeah, the leveling up, being around people doing more, and I'm still in the rich phase, and I'm letting other people. I've got like a wealth advisor that helps with the wealth side of it, but I'm really not in that mode. I'm still growing this and doing something special with this.
I hear you talk a lot about Be the Bank. Are you trying to start like a Rhino Bank?
Yeah. Yeah, well, hard money lending.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I know people that own big portfolios, and I know people that lend a lot of private money. And the people that lend private money just have a better lifestyle in my own experience. And so I think being the bank is the top of the pyramid. I really do. I think owning a lot of doors and a lot of real estate is really fantastic. But if you look how this country's built, it's built on banks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's the top tier of the economy. And so I think that if I can connect with really great entrepreneurs that are doing really great flips or developments, or need some bridge loans or whatever for certain projects, and earn that 10 to 12% plus whatever fees up front, I think that's the route. I don't think that's the route that I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just building it up and having the after tax cash to lend out enough to make it make sense.
Mm-hmm. What do you recommend, like in our current path, kind of before we get to that lending area?
Yes.
I mean, we're wholesaling right now, just trying to build up capital. Where's kind of that middle point of like what we should do in between? You know, like where should we put our cash necessarily to kind of really scale up to be able to, lend?
Well, listen, you got to first get to the point where you're building the consistency, and then you got to be able to replace yourself, and then you're working on it, not in it, right? You know what I mean? And so a lot of people want to work on their business like right away, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, enjoy it. Like, you guys are going through this hustle. Like, you're going to look back on it and be nostalgic, but like really enjoy the time that you're grinding and just stay focused on that. If you find some good opportunities that you guys want to take down, it's not going to take all your attention away. That's okay. But start replacing yourself first with really great talent, and then start looking at what you want to do with the money that you have. Where do you want to put that money? I just say stack it. Stack it as much as possible. Like, have a lot of dry powder, so to speak. That's the analogy for when markets shift, because real estate is the highest of high and the lowest of lows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you saw 60% of wholesalers leave the market last June because they didn't have the skills, and they had their whole company built on $4 an hour VAs, and they're all gone. They're all gone, all of them. All the gurus, all the everything, they're gone. They're doing solar, they're doing some other industry. They're just moved their audience and influence to somewhere else. So keep a bunch of dry powder, and then just figure out what you want to do. And then you can cherry pick really great deals, whether that, hopefully it's a multifamily, in really good areas, really good school districts, probably in the Sun Belt, just so that you've got really good appreciation with all of it. And then from there, you can, or you could just save it all up and then start lending.
Awesome.
Yep.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Whenever I pitch seller financing, it's not that they don't want to do it. It's just they always tell me, I just don't want to deal with the property anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you don't. You know what I mean? Like, it's mine, and if I don't pay, you get it back. How do you say it to them? Like, what's your rebuttal for that? Like, I just don't want to deal with the property anymore. I don't have to worry about it.
Are you talking about people that own it free and clear?
Yeah.
Or are you trying to do like a wrap? Are you trying to do, okay, so free and clear, like them being the bank?
Yeah, I'm like.
So the best question is, what are you going to do with the money? What are you going to do with the money? What are you going to put it into? And what is the interest rate that you're getting from that? Because I think I can do better for you just having just you being the bank on this property. You know, if I could get you more, and it's a safer investment for you to have this, and you get your money over time. One, you don't get destroyed by taxes, and two, you're going to get a nice return. And the worst case scenario is I don't pay you, and you get back the property, and then you could start this all over again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like
And
that.
so you got to just find out what is their plan with the funds. And I'm not the best with creative finance. I'll be honest. I'm a run and gun wholesaler flip type guy. We don't run across a tremendous amount of creative finance in really good areas in Scottsdale or Phoenix or Paradise Valley or Arcadia or any of the areas that I'd want to own properties in. So I just don't have a lot of reps at it, to be honest. But if you run across somebody that does have a property that you want to keep, that's the conversation that you have. What are you going to do with the money?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Awesome. Anything else? This has been a great conversation.
Yeah.
Guys, if you're getting value out of this, put some comments in here. By the way, put some comments in the YouTube channel. If you're listening to this, check it out. If you want to see, put a face to a voice. These guys are absolutely incredible. What year in college?
I'm a sophomore.
Okay.
Junior.
Okay.
Yep.
So what? 20,
19.
21, 19?
20.
20.
Awesome. You guys are incredible. Yeah. You
This is
got
a
another
very
one?
like technical question.
Yeah.
On Mojo, it says, how many rings do you want to do? Like 4
3.
rings? You want to do 3. So you want the shortest amount of rings,
Yes.
get through the most amount of calls.
Yep.
Okay.
3 rings. If they're not picking up on 3 rings, typically if it rings 4 times, people are like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's been my experience, so I always set it at 3.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's always worked out better at 3. And make sure that you set it on Mojo that it has that ding when people answer. Right?
It's helpful.
Yeah, it's really helpful because you're like, okay, awesome. Yep.
Okay.
So
I appreciate that.
good. Tell,
about-
tell everybody about you guys' investment group at ASU.
Yeah, so we started up the ASU Real Estate Investing Club. There's actually an application. If you look up ASU REI Club on Instagram, there's an application on there. And right now we have about 20 people in it. We haven't had a single meetup yet. Meetups are going to start beginning of October.
Awesome.
It'll ask you to fill out a form about, what value you're looking to get out of the club. And those 20 people that have signed up are really serious about real estate.
Awesome.
And it's great to see.
Yeah.
So you're going to be around a lot
What's
of
the point of the club?
networking and learning.
Yeah.
So we're going to be bringing in, 20 to 25-year-old guys that are doing over $1 million in the Phoenix area. And, that's just going to show you guys that you can do it, just because your age, you're not limited. And then we're also going to be bringing in, beasts. Hopefully Brent can come in
All the
at some
time.
point.
I love it.
And, they're just going to be spitting knowledge about scaling a business and showing you what the end product will look like, if you really dedicate yourself.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Landon, yeah.
we're really trying to blow this thing up. Like my vision, I'm like a visionary guy. I'm always thinking about the vision and numbers. I think this could be like 100, it's like 1,000 people in this
Yeah.
club. And I think this could be a
No
huge
problem.
thing on campus. And ASU actually is willing to fund $500 per person. So we have 100 people. We have $50,000 of funding to get food, catering. And if we have 1,000 people, we have $500K of funding where we could pay speakers to come out. And,
Yep.
one of our big goals is Robert Kiyosaki. I know it's kind of a stretch, but man, if we could get Robert out there, I think that would add a lot of value.
Listen, Thursday I meet with his team to do the wholesaling courses on the new Rich Dad Academy. I'll hook you up
Awesome.
Sweet.
for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Brent.
Yeah.
That
Awesome.
means a lot.
Cool. Landon, how can people get a hold of you if they want to reach out?
Yeah, I mean, you could look me up on Instagram.
Okay.
If you want to talk to me, it's Landon Galvin, LandonGalvin. Just shoot me a DM. I'll respond to you. Facebook, same thing. You can contact me there.
Awesome.
So yeah, I mean, I'm willing to talk to anyone. You have any questions, I can help you out. I love helping anyone that, like, especially the young guns that are trying to figure out, what to do
it.
and where to go. I mean, I love helping people. I mean, there's so many young hustlers in this business. I mean, guys like 16 and 15, and I just kind of think of I was like, I wish I kind of started that young. I mean, where would I be at? So I mean, I'm willing to help anyone out. So
Awesome.
Give your number too. Your phone number.
816-718-1110.
There you go.
Yep.
Nate?
Yeah, the energy is contagious. Please reach out to me. I love seeing people hustling out there and trying to go get it. You can find me at NateFreeze14 on Instagram, and my phone number is 815-527-2540. Reach out. We'll hop on a FaceTime call or something, and, let's raise our energy levels.
My Instagram is, I'll spell it out. It's Kyle L. Dixon, so KYLEL Dixon, DICKSON. That's my Instagram. You could also reach out to me. My phone number is 847-531-3094. If you have any questions or want to connect or even hop on a FaceTime call, we can talk for however long you want, any day from 3:30 in the morning to 9 o'clock at night, 7 days a week. So anytime between
As
then.
long as you're not prospecting.
Yeah, as long as you're not prospecting,
That's sacred time.
just send me a text and we'll figure something out that works for the both of us.
Guys, reach out. You guys, listen, being around people that are taking this much action at 19 and 20 years, there's a lot of people out there that that you guys relate to. And so reach out to them, guys. This is not just hey, reach out to me so that I get attention thing. They really want to help out. They really want to be around people that are doing this thing, because I imagine most of the people on campus are not doing any of this. Mm-hmm. So it feels weird, right? And so, and that's fine. But you guys are going to get a lot of people reaching out, incredible people around the country reaching out. So it doesn't matter if you go to ASU or don't go to ASU. Certainly if you go to ASU, make sure that you guys reach out and connect with these guys. And my suggestion for you guys should take advantage of my studio here. You should do either a pod, like an ASU investing podcast or something, maybe, come up with something, shoot a few episodes every single week. And then just once a week, come in, shoot a few episodes, bring guests on, whatever you want. You guys are more than welcome to.
I'd be down.
And we could, have a custom set for you and the whole thing, and then that way you guys could get real loud.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Awesome. And that's it, guys. Absolutely incredible. Thanks for coming on here, guys. This has been awesome.
Brent.
And guys, if you need anything, any resources, any tools, go to wholesalinginc.com. And if you're interested in joining the most proactive group in real estate investing with these three young hustlers, it is the Rhino Tribe. Go to wholesalinginc.com. Check out the Apply Now button. Click it. And see what it's all about. Have a conversation with us. If it's the right fit, let's rock and roll and get to work. And I close out this podcast, as I always do, encouraging you to go out there and talk to people. Till next time, guys. Love you. See ya.